Welcome to Mindful Healing, the channel where we explore the profound truths of life, mindfulness, and philosophy together. In today's video, we're going to dive into 7 fundamental affirmations that everyone should remind themselves of every single day. These truths aren't just words, they are seeds that, when nurtured, grow into a life of wisdom, resilience, and fulfillment. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of peace, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the tools to navigate life with clarity and calm. This is the wisdom of Zen, simple yet profound truths that, when embraced, have the power to transform your life. But before we begin, ask yourself, what is keeping us from inner peace? Why do we struggle even when we've done nothing wrong? Let's begin our journey. Lesson 1. You are exactly where you need to be. Think about a tree growing in nature. It never complains that it should be growing somewhere else, where there's more sunlight or richer soil. It simply grows, roots itself deeply, and rises from the very spot it stands. If we could accept and embrace our current circumstances the way a tree does, we would find peace within ourselves. How many times have we told ourselves that we should have a better job, a happier relationship, or an easier life? How often do we envy someone else's success and wonder why we haven't achieved the same? This resistance is the root of suffering. When we refuse to accept reality as it is, we create unnecessary dissatisfaction and anxiety for ourselves. I recall the story of a woman who was unexpectedly laid off from her job. At first, she was devastated, feeling as if her world had collapsed. But in losing that job, she was forced to pursue her true passion, something she had never dared to do before. Years later, after achieving success, she looked back and realized that losing her job was the best thing that ever happened to her. Had she not been fired, she might have remained stuck in a career that brought her no joy. We can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. When faced with unexpected changes, instead of panicking or falling into despair, ask yourself, could this actually be an opportunity to improve my life? We often get caught up in thoughts about the future or regrets about the past, forgetting to appreciate the present moment. But the present is all we truly have. When you fully embrace this moment, you will clearly see that you are exactly where you need to be. Imagine you're walking along a beautiful path. If you only focus on what's ahead or keep looking back, you'll miss the flowers along the way, the gentle breeze, the sound of birds singing. Life is the same way. If you're constantly thinking about where you should be, you'll miss the beauty of where you are. If you trust that everything happens for a reason, you will no longer feel anxious about where you should be or what you should be doing. You will feel at ease knowing that every step of your journey is leading you exactly where you need to go. If you struggle to accept where you are, try this. Practice. Gratitude. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for in your life right now. This will help you see that even if things aren't perfect, there's still so much to appreciate. Focus on the present. Instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, focus on what you can do right now. Shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what can I learn from this situation? Trust life. Remember, sometimes the worst experiences lead to the most beautiful transformations. Let life unfold as it is meant to. You don't need to rush or worry that you're on the wrong path. Every moment in life carries meaning and is guiding you to where you need to be. If you can learn to accept and trust your journey, you will find peace exactly where you are. Take a moment, breathe deeply, and feel it. You are exactly where you need to be. Lesson 2, you are stronger than you think. In life, there are moments when we feel like we just can't keep going. It might be after a failure, a loss, or a major challenge. In those moments, we convince ourselves that we are weak, that we don't have what it takes to overcome. But look back at your past. How many times have you thought that before, yet still managed to move forward? That alone proves something important. You are much stronger than you think. Our minds have a strange tendency. They magnify fear and doubt. When we face a new challenge, that little voice inside us often says, I can't do this. I'm too weak. What if I fail? But the truth is, most of these fears are just illusions created by our own minds. We only realize how strong we truly are when we're put to the test. Resilient people aren't born strong, they become strong through challenges. A sprinter can't run faster unless they push past their comfort zone. A child can't learn to walk without falling hundreds of times. And an adult can't become strong unless they have faced and endured hardship. If you're going through a difficult time, remember this. This challenge isn't here to defeat you. It's here to help you discover the strength you never knew you had. Many people think being strong means never failing, never crying, never feeling afraid. But that's not true. Being strong means knowing how to get back up after falling, wiping away your tears and moving forward, even when your heart is still trembling. There's a powerful quote. True strength isn't about never being knocked down, it's about how many times you stand back up. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times, but they never think, I'll never be able to walk, I should just give up. Instead, they simply stand up and try again, over and over, until they succeed. If a child has that kind of perseverance, why shouldn't we? Real strength doesn't come from the outside. It comes from your belief in yourself. No matter what happens, you have the power to face it. You've already overcome so much in your past. Never forget that. If you want to build your inner strength, try these. Change the way you talk to yourself. When facing a tough situation, instead of saying, I can't do this, try saying, I'll find a way. Focus on small steps. Don't overwhelm yourself by looking at the entire mountain. Just focus on the next step. Accept that failure is part of the journey. No one succeeds without failing. Every failure is just a lesson that makes you stronger. Look back at what you've already overcome. When in doubt, remind yourself of all the challenges you've faced before and how you made it through. Seek support. Strength doesn't mean doing everything alone. Talk to people who believe in you. They can help you see the strength inside yourself. You are stronger than you think, believe it. Lesson 3. Letting go of what you can't control. Human beings have a natural tendency to seek certainty. We make plans for the future, set goals, and want things to go in an orderly way that makes us feel safe. But life doesn't always follow our plans. No matter how much effort we put in, things sometimes unfold in their own way. Life is like the vast ocean. No matter how hard we try, the waves will continue to rise and fall as they please. We can't command the waves to stop crashing, just like we can't force life to always go smoothly. But what happens when we cling too tightly to control? When we insist that things must go our way, we become tense, anxious, and disappointed when reality doesn't match our expectations. It's like trying to hold on to a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. Letting go does not mean giving up or accepting defeat. Letting go is about learning to accept what you cannot change and focusing on what you can do. Love is one of the areas where people struggle the most with control. But the truth is, you can't control another person's emotions. You can't force someone to love you the way you want them to. You can't control how they think, feel, or react. You can't make someone stay if they no longer want to be there. Instead, love with respect and freedom. Real love isn't about control, it's about acceptance. Let the other person be who they truly are, and if they truly belong with you, they will stay in the most natural way. If you struggle with letting go, here are a few ways to practice. Accept the truth. When facing a difficult situation, ask yourself, can I change this? If the answer is no, then let it go. Instead of wasting energy trying to control it, learn to accept it. Focus on what you can control. Rather than worrying about things beyond your control, shift your focus to what you can do. Breathe and live in the present. We often get lost in thoughts about the future or trapped in regrets about the past. But the truth is, the present moment is all we truly have. When you feel anxious or frustrated, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and focus on right now. If possible, take a few moments to meditate. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care or that you're giving up. It's an art. The art of accepting what you can't control and focusing on what you can. When you stop resisting the waves of life and learn to move with them, you will find peace within yourself. So try letting go a little. Let things unfold as they are meant to, and you'll realize peace was never far away. Lesson 4, I am grateful for what I have. There are so many people who always feel like they don't have enough, no matter what they own. And then, there are those who, despite having only simple things, still feel happiness and peace. The difference lies in contentment, the ability to appreciate what you already have. There's a saying I always remember, that if you can't find joy in a simple bowl of rice, you won't find it in riches either. For someone on the brink of starvation, even a bowl of rice brings no happiness, just as a luxurious feast wouldn't. The truth is, if we don't appreciate the small things, we will never feel like we have enough, no matter how much we achieve. Greed makes us constantly compare ourselves to others, focusing on what we lack instead of what we already have. This leads to dissatisfaction, anxiety, and even suffering. We often forget that the simplest things, a roof over our heads, a warm meal, a friend who listens, are actually miracles. Someone lying in a hospital bed would see the ability to walk as a gift. Someone who just lost a loved one would cherish every moment with family. What you have today might be the dream of someone else out there. Gratitude is a skill, not just a feeling. Gratitude isn't something we're born with. It's a skill that can be developed. Here are some ways I personally practice gratitude, and I hope they can help you too. 1. Savor the present moment. Whenever possible, truly enjoy what's happening right now. When eating, taste your food. When talking to someone, listen with your whole heart. When going for a walk, notice the world around you. Life isn't in tomorrow, it's in every single moment. 2. Stop comparing yourself to others. If you constantly look at what others have that you don't, you'll always feel like something is missing. Instead, focus on your own journey. Appreciate how far you've already come. 3. Express gratitude to others. This one is the most powerful. Take time to thank the people who have helped you, whether it's for a small word of encouragement or a meaningful act of kindness. A simple thank you can brighten someone's entire day and strengthen your connections with the people around you. The magic of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that can transform your life. When you appreciate what you have, you no longer feel lacking, and you stop being caught up in endless desires. Happiness isn't about what you want. It's about how you see what you already have. Pause for a moment. Feel it. You are alive. You have enough. You are more fortunate than you think. And when you practice gratitude, life becomes more beautiful than ever. Lesson 5. I deserve kindness, especially from myself. Being kind to yourself is not weakness, it's necessary. If you don't treat yourself well, who will? Self-criticism doesn't make you better. It only drains your energy, makes you anxious, and erodes your confidence. Successful people aren't those who punish themselves every time they fail. They're the ones who pick themselves up, learn, and move forward with self-compassion. Imagine learning to ride a bike. If every time you fell, you called yourself useless and gave up, you'd never learn to ride. But if you encouraged yourself, understood that falling is part of learning, and kept going, you'd eventually succeed. Life works the same way. You deserve forgiveness and encouragement when you make mistakes. Treat yourself with understanding and patience instead of harsh judgment. You do this naturally with others, so why not with yourself? How to be kinder to yourself. Next time you feel disappointed in yourself, try talking to yourself like you would to a close friend. Would you say, "You're worthless, you always fail"? Or would you say, "It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that you tried"? 1. Stop comparing. Comparing yourself to others is the fastest way to lose your inner peace. Everyone has their own journey, their own pace of growth. Focus on yourself, on how far you've come, rather than fixating on someone else's success. 2. Change the way you talk to yourself. Instead of thinking, "I failed, I'm not good enough," try saying, "I did the best I could at the time, and I'll keep improving." Nobody is perfect, and you don't have to be perfect to deserve love. 3. Take care of yourself. Self-kindness isn't just about how you speak to yourself, it's also about how you take care of yourself. Get enough sleep, eat nourishing food, and move your body. Make time for what you enjoy, whether it's reading, music, or going for a walk. Learn to say no to things that drain your energy. You deserve a life filled with love, including the love you give yourself. 4. Be your own ally, not your own enemy. When you become your own ally instead of your own worst critic, life becomes lighter. You stop getting trapped in cycles of self-blame and instead learn to support and grow. When you make a mistake, try comforting yourself instead of criticizing yourself. Try speaking words of encouragement instead of judgment. Love yourself the way you would love someone dear to you. And soon you'll realize, kindness doesn't just make you happier, it helps you become the best version of yourself. Lesson 6, difficulties are my greatest teachers. Look at nature and you'll see an unchanging rule. Trees don't grow strong because life is easy. They grow strong because they learn to adapt to storms. A tree that grows in ideal conditions, never facing strong winds or poor soil, will be weak and fragile. But a tree that endures storms, heavy winds, and dry ground will develop deeper roots and a sturdier trunk. Humans are the same. Adversity is what makes us strong. Everyone goes through times when they feel overwhelmed by challenges. It might be a personal crisis, a career failure, a broken relationship, or simply a period when life feels unbearably hard. But when you look back, you'll realize that it was these very moments that helped you grow the most. Life doesn't always give us what we want. It gives us what we need to evolve. The question to ask isn't, why is this happening to me? But rather, what is this teaching me? When we accept difficulties as an inevitable part of life, we stop fearing them. Instead, we start seeing them as opportunities for growth. 1. Challenges are not a sign of failure. They are tests for something greater. If you're struggling at work, maybe life is teaching you patience and perseverance. If you've lost an important relationship, maybe it's an opportunity to learn self-love and the real value of connection. If you failed at something, maybe it's a lesson in resilience, the ability to rise up and start again. Without hardship, we would never truly know how strong we are. Only when we are pushed to our limits do we realize that we can endure and overcome more than we ever imagined. 2. The strength that comes from struggle. There was an experiment where trees were grown in an artificial environment. No wind, no storms, no harsh conditions. The result? These trees grew tall but weak, breaking easily under the slightest pressure. Meanwhile, trees in nature, which had to withstand strong winds and tough environments, developed thick trunks and deep roots, making them much stronger. You are just like those trees. Every challenge you face is like a strong wind that forces you to become more resilient. No matter how hard things are right now, trust that you will come out stronger on the other side. 3. Hardships don't last forever, but the strength you gain. Does no pain last forever? No challenge is permanent. After the rain, the sun will shine again. Wounds will heal, struggles will pass, and you will emerge as a stronger version of yourself. One day you will look back at your toughest moments and smile. You'll see that those difficulties gave you wisdom, revealed your inner strength, and shaped you into who you are today. 4. Life is not punishing you. It's training you to be stronger. Difficulties are not your enemy. They are your greatest teachers. You are not being punished by life. You are being prepared for something greater. Lesson 7. My happiness is my responsibility. If you put your happiness in someone else's hands, you will always be at their mercy. If you expect others to bring you joy, you will always depend on them. But if you create happiness within yourself, no one can take it away from you. Happiness is something we all desire. We search for it in love, in work, in external circumstances. But there's a truth that not everyone realizes. My happiness is my responsibility. Happiness isn't something to wait for. It's something to choose. Many people believe happiness comes from external things. I'll be happy when I have more money. I'll be happy when I find the perfect partner. I'll be happy when I have a better job. I'll be happy when people treat me better. But the truth is, if you always wait for something outside of yourself to feel happy, you will never truly be happy. Life is always changing, and no one has complete control over everything. Think about it. If your happiness depends on other people, what happens when they leave? If you can only be happy when your job is going well, what happens when you face challenges? If you only find meaning in life through love, what happens when a relationship ends? When you let others decide your happiness, you are giving them control over your life. How to become the creator of your own happiness. Happiness isn't some distant destination. It's found in the small moments you create every day. Take a minute each day to think about what you're grateful for, no matter how small. Gratitude helps you realize that you already have so much to be happy about. When you accept that your happiness is your responsibility, you will no longer be controlled by circumstances or other people. Happiness is in your hands. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I don't need to wait for happiness. I can create it right now. Because the truth is, happiness has always been within reach. You just have to choose it. As we come to the end of this video, I want to leave you with a simple yet powerful thought. These truths we've explored today are not just ideas to think about. They are tools, keys that can unlock a more peaceful, fulfilled, and resilient life. But they only work if you use them. So, as you step away from this video and return to your daily life, I invite you to take one thing with you. Just one. Maybe it's the belief that you are stronger than you think. Maybe it's the courage to let go of what you can't control. Or perhaps it's the simple reminder that happiness is already within you, waiting to be chosen. But here's the secret. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. Mindfulness, growth, and healing are lifelong journeys. There is always more to explore, more to learn, and more to experience. And you don't have to do it alone. So I encourage you, stay curious, stay open, and keep walking this path with us. If this video resonated with you, like, comment, and share your thoughts. Which lesson spoke to you the most? Which one do you need to remind yourself of every day? And if you haven't already, subscribe to Mindful Healing so we can continue this journey together. There's so much more ahead, so many more insights, reflections, and truths waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, take a deep breath, trust your journey, and remember, you are exactly where you need to be.